Hey friends, I'm here today to share with you how I apply my Jamberry nail wraps. I removed my wraps this morning and made sure I had all that residue off my fingernails. I started prepping a few minutes ago. I first used my Jamberry cuticle remover and pushed my cuticles back. After that, it sat for a few minutes. Once I was done with that, I washed using warm water and Dawn dish soap and really rubbed my nails good to make sure that all the oils are off. Next, I'm going to use a little cotton pad with some rubbing alcohol on it and just swipe over each of my fingers to make sure that all of the oil is off of my nail beds, because that is going to give me a long-lasting application. If you don't have rubbing alcohol at home, you can use just a white vinegar, works really well. But if you have rubbing alcohol, you can do that, and you can actually buy, like in the pharmacy section, you can buy little pre-cut and pre-alcoholed like swabs. Those work really well too. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my sheet of wraps ready. This is a brand new sheet. This is what a sheet of wraps looks like. This one is called Paper Hearts. It's one of our Valentine's specials for this year, and I absolutely love it. Valentine's Day is next Sunday, so just a few days away, so I am going to be rocking these for Valentine's Day. Once you know the size of wrap you're going to use on your fingernails, it really goes pretty quickly. So I'm going to do my left hand because I'm right hand dominant, and it's a little easier for me to show you what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the nail wrap that fits on that finger, and I know that the smallest wrap is what I wear on my pinky. So all I'm going to do is I have this nice little tool. You can also use the rubber cuticle pusher or an orange stick, kind of whatever you have, but you want to make sure that you do not touch the sticky part of the wrap with your fingers, because you will leave oil in the wrap and it will not stick. I like this little tool because it's kind of sharp and pointy and it helps lift off the paper. So you're just going to peel the edge of the wrap up. When you're first applying, I really recommend just cutting your wraps in half, because it's going to make it easier for you to apply. I've applied enough, I know how long my fingernails are, and I know that I can use about a third of a wrap. So I have my cuticle pusher right under here, holding up that end of the wrap, and then I'm just going to cut the wrap off. And again, not touching it with my finger. This is what I'm going to apply to my finger. Okay? The method I'm going to show you today is called the 1-2-3 method, and I really like it. It's really helped me get an awesome application that really lasts and doesn't have any bubbles or puckers. There's a lot of different application videos out there that you can find that will show you different ways to apply. So if one isn't working for you, try another. You'll find one that works. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my little heater. This is our Jamberry mini heater, and I absolutely love it. It's such a nice size. I can take it with me when I travel. And okay, right now it's off. And now it's on. Can you hear it? Exactly. If you don't have a mini heater, I'm going to give this just a minute to warm up because we want warm air coming out of there. If you don't have a mini heater, you can use a space heater, or even a blow dryer works. Those are the two things I used for the first 6 months that I did Jamberry. I really recommend the heater. It is so much easier and so much quieter. The blow dryer worked well, but it was just a lot of work, and it was really loud, and it was really hot. All right, so now that my heater is warmed up, I'm going to hold my wrap right in front of it just for a couple seconds. Did you see how it bent? You see that it's all curvy now? It was flat just a few minutes ago. That's because it's warm. So the 1-2-3 method that I'm using today, let's get some of my stuff here. Once it's warm, I'm going to center. You want your wrap as close to the back of your cuticle as you can get it without it touching your actual skin. Again, it won't stick to skin, it only sticks to the nail. And you want it pretty centered side to side. Once you have it in place, with this method, you're just going to tap the back on very lightly, and then pull your cuticle stick or your orange stick or whatever you're using. Pull this off. Okay? So the wrap is just barely on my fingernail. Now I'm going to hold in front of the heater for about 3 seconds or so. And then I'm going to push straight down the middle and only down the middle. Okay? Once I've done that, I'm going to do the side. This is part 2. A couple seconds of heat. And then I'm going to push down again. Just on that side, maybe a little bit in the middle, but mostly on that side that I just heated. If you need to, you can push your cuticles back a little bit. You can see that that's what I'm doing now because I had my wrap a little bit too far back, so I had to push the cuticle back. That's not a problem. If you need to do that, no big deal. Heat that third side just for a few seconds. Push down. And now the wrap is on your finger. You can see I have a lot of excess. That's okay. We'll cut it off. Not a big deal. So all I'm going to do now, you can either use a little scissor, like what I used to cut my wrap before. You can use that. I have a harder time with that, so I just use my nail clipper. I get as close to my nail as I can without actually clipping my nail. I will clip my nail later, but for right now, I just want to get as close to the wrap, or as close to the nail as I can, and just trim the wrap. Easy peasy. All right. Now I'm going to reheat just for a few seconds. It's really hard for you to see, isn't it? I'm going to reheat just for a few seconds, and then I'm going to push down all over again. Pressure is really important because that's what's going to give you that really good seal. You want to use a lot of pressure. So I can feel it almost hurts how hard I'm pushing because I want it to really be adhered to my nail. I usually use my cuticle pusher and then I use my finger too and just really push and get lots of pressure. Okay, so there my wrap is attached and on and it's holding nicely. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how to apply to this finger while I let this one cool. And then once I'm done with that cooling, then I'll show you how to kind of finish off that nail. So we're going to start all over with my ring finger. So again, I know which wrap fits the best. I'm going to use my little lifter and peel up that end of the wrap. Pull off as much as I need, which for me is about 1/3. I would recommend starting with the 1/2 just to make sure you have plenty of wrap to work with. Okay. You're going to heat. Scooch this back, see if I can do this just a little closer to me. I'm going to heat just for a second or two. As far back on the fingernail as you can. And as centered as you can get it. Push down that back just a little bit, and I will sometimes hold it. You can see I'm using my middle finger to hold down while I pull this off so that I don't accidentally pull on the wrap. Then I'm going to heat the front just for a couple seconds. Push down, straight down the middle, as hard as you can. We're going to do one side at a time. That's the 1, 2, 3 method. You do the middle first, which is 1. Then you do one side, which is 2, and then you do the last side, which is 3. And again, I found it's just a really nice method that helps me get really flawless applications. I have curvy nails, so especially on my ring fingers and my pointer fingers, I would get kind of bubbles on the edges, and I had ways that I could take care of it, and it worked. But I really like this method because it gives me a nice smooth application without having to do extra steps. All right, so I've got it pushed down all over the place. Okay, now I'm going to take my clipper and just clip. Again, I want to be, oops, I got to pull that last piece off. I want to be as close to the nail as I can, but I don't want to cut the nail yet. And you do want to make sure that you pull this extra out. So this is the extra wrap that I just trimmed off. You want to pull that out because it can cause problems if you leave it in the clipper. You can have issues with later nails. All right, so I clipped that edge off. Now we're going to heat again just for a couple seconds. And then as much pressure as you can tolerate. all over. And you really want to make sure you're sealing really well at the edges, because that's where water and all that kind of fun stuff is going to get in. I recommend, some people don't have an issue with it, but for me, I need to wait a few hours before I submerge my hands in water after I've applied my wraps. I used to do all of my wraps right before I went to bed, and that just gave me a chance to really let everything cool off and for the wraps to really adhere to my nails. I don't do that anymore because I have our new True Shine system and I love it. So once I am done applying my wraps, I'm going to put True Shine on the top and it will just help seal them in, and I won't have any issues with lifting, and I won't need to wait to submerge my hands in water. But when you first apply, you do want to be careful that you're waiting some time before you wash dishes or take a shower or even put on lotion or anything like that that can get under the wrap and break the seal. All right, so now I've heated and applied both of my wraps on these fingers. Now I'm going to go back once they've completely cooled. Usually I go back and forth, so usually I do my pinkies and then my ring fingers and on and on and on. Once I am all the way done, I leave each of my nails at this stage where I've clipped, but I haven't completely trimmed the edges and they don't look super pretty on the ends because I haven't done that step yet. I want to let them cool a little bit. Once I'm completely done applying wraps to all 10 fingers, then that's when I usually go back and do this step, but I want to show you how to do it. So the easiest method I've found for giving myself nice edges is clipping my nails. So I redo my wraps about once a week, usually on Mondays. And so I have enough growth that I can clip off just a little bit of my nail, and that gives me a nice edge. If you do not have enough nail for that, or if you just flat out don't want to cut your nails, that's not a problem. You don't have to. All you need to do at that point is grab a nice nail file, and you're going to want to file at a 90-degree angle, straight down. Never go upwards, because if you go upwards, you're going to end up lifting the tip of your wrap, and it's just going to cause problems. So straight downward, and you'll just get all of that excess off. It'll take a few pulls downward. You're not going to be able to see that very well, are you? But you'll eventually see, it's really hard to see on the video, you'll eventually see that part of the wrap starts to just kind of flake off. And at that point, you can either pull it off or just wait for it to fall off by itself. Can you see that right there? That little thing that's sticking up? That's the excess wrap that I'm filing off. So I'm just going to keep filing, and it's just going to fall right off. So that's one option if you don't want to cut your nails. I prefer to cut my nails. So all I do is go right along the front. I start in the middle, I clip, I go to each side, I clip just a very little bit off of my nail because I don't want to lose my length, but that'll give me a nice clean edge with my wraps. That one's done. Literally, completely and totally done. Let's see, this video is about 13 minutes long at this point. That includes prep and teaching you how to do this. Not long at all. So again, I'm going to cut my nail just to give myself a nice little edge. And then the edge of your wrap comes off with that, and you finish with this nice smooth application that looks gorgeous. This is such a cute wrap. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to stop staring at my nails. You get an application that looks gorgeous, and you don't have to worry about what the edges of your wrap feel like, if they're all off properly, any of that. All right, there you have it. If you have any questions about this video, please contact me. You can either comment below or send me an email, and I would love to help you with all of your Jamberry needs. Have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. All right, friends, I am back one last time to show you my completely finished manicure. Again, this is called Paper Hearts. It's one of the new wraps that Jamberry came out with for Valentine's Day this year, and they're available for the next few months. I also wanted to show you, this is how much of the sheet I used for this manicure. All 10 fingers, and look how much I still have left. One sheet of wraps is $15. That sounds like a lot, but I can get at least 3 manicures out of one sheet, plus have both pedicures left. For me, that's worth it to have nails that look like this. Have a great day, and thanks again for joining me.